We're a team from the Chinese University of Hong Kong, and I'm Sherry.
I am Teresa.
I'm Cindy.
I'm Kathy.
Today we're going to present you our solution for the world's largest computer giant, Lenovo. So first, let's take a look at the presentation agenda. We'll first talk about introduction and the current situation of both the industry and the company. Then we'll talk about the key problems that the companies should fix, and then objectives of our solution, and then recommendation, exactly what recommendation. And then it's the financials and implementation timetables of our suggestion. So first, let's start with the introduction. Well, the computer giant Lenovo is now having a headache because in its traditional market, the PC market is shrinking due to the growing mobile phone market. As you can see in this chart, the smartphone, the shipment amount of smartphone has been growing to 29% from 2011 to 2012. However, the PC shipment amount would drop for about 4% from that year. So the problem Lenovo is facing is that how can it successfully transform its business model to fit this new structural change of the industry? Well, actually, Lenovo has already done something to cope with this new trend. First, in 2010, Lenovo launched its own smartphone, but it doesn't sell well. However, according to the data, we have seen that customer review on the functionality and the design of this smartphone is also very good. So what make this smartphone an unsuccessful one? We think it's because Lenovo don't have a strong brand name. And to deal with this, Lenovo has already launched its MIDH program to focus on the smartphone, products, and then it also initiate the protect and attack strategy. So to successfully build up its brand name and to develop its smartphone, what problem should Lenovo fix first? I think the key problem here is first, how to build a strong brand name. Because without a strong brand name, Lenovo smartphone cannot penetrate into the already saturated smartphone market. Second, how to develop Lenovo smartphone. To answer this question, we will give you exactly what system and what other operations should Lenovo adopt. And then the objective of our solution is to help Lenovo become the top 100 brand in the world, as it states in its own mission statement. And second, help Lenovo to become the largest smartphone vendor in China and the second largest smartphone vendor in the emerging market in Asia. All these two objectives are the objectives of Lenovo itself. So we will help it achieve these objectives.
And next, we're going to offer you our recommendation in the aspect of marketing. So as Sherry has already mentioned, that the biggest obstacle of Lenovo is that it does not have a very strong brand name. So our solution is offered from the aspect of splitting and bonding of brands. As it is already known that Lenovo has decided to split its brand into two different brands. One is the original Lenovo, and the other one is called Think. And Think is the relatively high-level one, and Lenovo make it completely separate. But we decide that it is not the best choice to make it completely separate. And we want and while doing marketing and from our strategy, we decide to still emphasize the bond of the two brands and to make it clear to the users, to the customers, that Think is still a subordinate series of Lenovo. And here how it goes. Think is a relatively high-level series of product. It also contains a variety of products, including the full screens, which is desktop, laptop, and smartphone and smart television. And we make Think as the highlight of the entire portfolio of Lenovo product. It is the highlight. So instead of making it completely separate, we make use of Think to build up our brand name. So that's, let me explain a little bit more of why we do this. Because we think that the best strategy of making or building a strong brand name isn't to spend a lot of money on marketing or on advertising. Because no matter how much you spend, the customer get to use your product, they found it's nothing special. So I think the best way to make marketing, to make advertisement, is to let the product talk. Because people may, what is the key successful factor of the very famous game company, the Half-Baked company? I think the most important thing is that they made a very successful product through Ninja. Only one successful product can make the company very famous. So, so we would like to make Think as the similar role of through Ninja to Half-Baked. So we would like to make Think as the highlight of the Lenovo. And perhaps we may ask that Lenovo also provide a lot of other products like some low-end product which is offer a little bit lower price. Will the brand name attracted by Think also help that? I think the answer is yes. So perhaps we can look into a similar story of Samsung. I think in recent years, Samsung has successfully built up its brand name by what method? I think it's by the Galaxy series. Galaxy series is only one series of Samsung's product, and because of the success of Galaxy series, Samsung has built up its brand image to be high quality and superior customer experience. So that is why we do this. And let me explain a little bit more of how we're going to exactly do this. So Think is like on this chart, a high-end series of product. It offers high technology and high quality. And because of the Lenovo company fully control its manufacturing process, so it can offer a little bit more competitive price than other same level of very competitive and innovative products. And one highlight of our strategy is that we make intensive marketing over Think. How intensive? We can make it head-to-head to other similar product aimed at also this very competitive and very innovative market. So we are not going to add to spend a lot of budget on marketing. Instead, we change the original use of that budget of marketing onto directly and intensively on the series of Think. And at the same time, Lenovo, other product of Lenovo, they may offer lower end, and the competitive advantage is that they offer extremely low price because of the strict control over manufacturing process.
Yes, as my teammate Teresa has just introduced to you, our idea is to split our brands into two parts, and for the Think brand, we will go into the high-end product line, while the Lenovo traditional brand will go to the low-end product line. So let's have a look at what kind of detailed strategy we will use to promote these two brands. First, for the Think, as we will position it as a high-end product, first of all, we will adopt the individual stylish store strategy. We know that the Apple store is quite famous around the world now because the Apple product is not only sold in the retail store, but they also design their own stylish stores to establish their own image of their product. So we will learn from the Apple, and we will also want to establish our own individual stylish store to create a unique customer purchasing experience. Secondly, we will adopt the Android-based ecosystem. Why Android is not adopt some iOS, something like that? There are two reasons. First of all, we know that for the 4 existing ecosystems in 2012 in the world, the Android system is actually shares the 70% market shares around the world, while the iOS is just share 20%. That will indicate that it has a quite large customer loyalty for this system. And secondly, the capacity of the Android system is quite flexible. It can not only adopt to the high-end product, but also can adopt to the low-end product as our Lenovo brand will develop. And the third strategy we'll use for the Think is that we will have the PC-related mobile phone. We know that Lenovo is actually a traditional PC developer, and they actually share a great PC user base. It is actually the largest PC
PC company in China market and also has a great share in the world market. So if we related our mobile phone with the PC, we can just lead our PC customers to the mobile phone customers to ensure the customer base of our mobile phone. For the Lenovo brand, we position it as a low-end product. And we have two main strategies. First of all, we will focus the product on the emerging market and also the rural area in China. Why those two areas? First of all, the Lenovo actually has a strong distribution channel currently in those developing countries such as India, China, and South Asia, something like that. And using the existing strong distribution channel, we can not only lower the cost to distribute our product, but also we can ensure our strong customer relationship with that. And secondly, actually in those developing countries and developing area, due to the growing economics, there are lots of new companies established in those areas. So those companies actually need quite a lot of facilities, such as the new PC computer, the new mobile phone for their new employees. So we can just cooperate with those developing companies to customize their product for their company use and their employee use. And secondly, our strategy is to promote the low cost but promising qualities of our product. That is due to our increasing economics of scales. And you know that in 2012, the Lenovo actually adopts its vendor managed inventory model that has shortened its operation hour from 30 to 100 hours to the 50 hours for each computer. And for the turnover period, they have actually reduced the period from 7 to 10 days to just 0.5 days. So we have promising economics of scales that will give us the confidence to produce the promising quality but low cost products. So this is our detailed strategy to promote our brands. Next, my teammate Cindy will introduce our financial plans and the timelines of our product.
Yeah, okay, now let's go to our financial part. After listening to my teammates' plan and marketing strategy, it sounds very attractive, but whether it is really feasible, is it practical? Now let's see our financial plan. Basically, we do a 5-year financial plan for next year in 2013. Since Lenovo has already got a R&D department for his PC and laptop development, so they have regular R&D costs every year. In order to develop a high-end mobile phone mobile phone product, we will estimate to invest $500 million more on research and development and we give 1 year time for our development team to produce us a high-end mobile phone products. And as for marketing, as we see in 2011 to 2012, the Lenovo company has already invested a huge amount of money for marketing, but didn't got much effect from that. And our team think that it is because that they didn't make good use of it, but not enough money. So we will not enlarge the marketing expense, but we just use the same amount of money and use it, but apply our new marketing strategy. So basically, our extra investment in 2013 is about R&D, and at the same time, we will also invest some money for the flagship shops, as my team has mentioned before. But we only do an ad hoc team, so only build several flagship shops in some big cities like Peking, Shanghai, or New York, these places, to do a trial. So there will not be a big cost. And then, since 2014, our Lenovo company will introduce our brand new high-end mobile phone, Think Series, and as well as some improved laptop, desktop, and smart television in our flagship shops around the world. And we can expect a 15% revenue growth for that year. As for my financial plan, I assume the tax rate would be around 20%, which is I rounded from the past data that I got in the material. And I hold the I hold the revenue of mobile phone at only 10% of the whole company's revenue, and for all 4 years. So this financial plan and estimation will be very feasible and practical because I didn't take account any take into the other markets growth like PC markets, like desktop and laptop markets. Because if we implement our marketing strategy, I'm sure that we can protect and as well as improve our financial our revenue in those emerging markets in PC and desktop areas.
I think time is up.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I tried to remind you several times.
So according to the platform, the form, you can see the payback period to be
And
within
so
5
we
years.
have to,
Best thing is to make the product talk, and then you obviously you propose to split the brands. You have a lot of hope on the Think series, but how confident are you that the Think product itself is so good that it can make people talk when there are products like Galaxies and iPhones in market? And why are you so confident that the Think product can emerge from competition?
Oh yeah, I'd like to answer this question first. First, currently, there is no smartphone under the brand Think. There's only smartphone under the brand Lenovo. But we think if we want to compete with iPhone and Samsung, we have to also have our own high-end product, because currently Lenovo sells very well in the rural area, but it doesn't sell well in the big cities, which means Lenovo as a company need to have a brand that target at the higher customer segment. And to do that, we just promote Think as a brand for this competition, because the computer under the PC under the Think brand is considered a high-end computer. So we think if we launch mobile phone under the same brand, it should be also positioned as high-end. And to do that, we have mentioned that we will use the high quality and the result from our R&D into the new Think smartphone. And also we, as our teammate has already mentioned, will build up the stylish flagship store, just as what Apple did to build up the whole high-end brand image of this smartphone. And also because we know Lenovo has its own factory and it can produce its own phones at a very low cost. So actually, the Think smartphone will have a price advantage over the very expensive iPhone and a very expensive Galaxy. Yeah.
And besides, actually, they have a wide PC computer user base, so we can just use that kind of customer loyalty into our smartphone. That will be more easier as compared to the Apple and the Samsung. They actually start from their smartphone, not start from their PC. So I think this is kind of unique for Lenovo.
Just to expand on that, so obviously when we talk about PC, so personal computer, so the range now is really the desktop, the laptop, the tablet, and the smartphone.
Yeah.
So you spend a lot of time talking about the smartphone and some time perhaps laptop versus desktop. How about what's your strategy around tablet? Because obviously Lenovo built the brand purely based on mostly desktop and then expanding to laptop. So how are you actually going to make that transition?
Well, actually, basically, as we know, Lenovo is famous for its laptop, desktop. So tablet and mobile phone are relatively new products, and is in infant stage for this company to develop. So they didn't have a large market share or high customer loyalty for these two products. So actually, for these two products, as we apply the pro-tech and tech strategy of this company, actually these two areas are all a tech area, and we try to use things serious to attack the high-end customer group, and also use this high-end strategy to penetrate our mobile phone into the market to attract our customers. Just as Sherry has said, we position it at the high end, in order to compete with like Apple, Samsung, these already famous brands in customers' mind. Actually, Samsung is not so high end in people's mind after before his Galaxy series. So if our company's products are really good, but just without a good name, a good brand, then we have confidence to invest in our research and development for 1 year, and then introduce a really high end with a shining bright name to compete with Apple, and that will I think the experience from Samsung Galaxy S2 can be well applicable to our Think series.
I think our strategy of tablets is quite similar to our strategy of smartphone. It's both just like starting stage of Lenovo, all products of Lenovo's like starting stage. So just like we have mentioned, we try to build up a stronger brand name in order to use this brand name to open up new markets, and also we try to build up competitive advantage using the relatively lower manufacturing cost of Lenovo.
How do you plan to make that change? Because Lenovo core competency is being the last mover advantage. So effectively coming from the base where they go into a mature PC market with good quality but low price, and where you're talking about infancy in terms of smartphones. So that's a huge change in terms of the company's strategy. How do you actually expect to change that?
I'll answer your question in different parts. First, it's about manufacturing. Because if we have a new product, we need to manufacture it. But as shown in the material, actually Lenovo, I think in 2012, they already invest a new factory, just especially for producing mobile phone. And also, Lenovo has its own manufacturing, like producing screens and other parts of the phone. So manufacturing would not be a problem for Lenovo mobile phone. And for distributing, as we already know, Lenovo has a very strong distribution network in the rural area and also in the emerging market in Asia Pacific. So we can continue just leverage on the existing distribution network with the new flagship stores, as our teammate just mentioned. So the distribution can be easily fixed for the new product. And the only thing that requires some more effort would be marketing. As we have already said, we will use intensive marketing and the new flagship store and the head-to-head marketing campaign to our competitors to build up the brand name and to penetrate into the market.
So I think our main competitive advantage compared to the Apple and the Samsung is that we are the same series, the same level of mobile phone, but we offer the lower price. So that is the main competitive advantage for us.
Maybe I just supplement with one question in terms of the difference here in terms of being a fast follower versus a dominant player who's going to the low cost and good quality is that the technology is settled or is actually mature. But in this case, we are assuming that the smartphone and tablet market is already mature, which might not be the case. And that's why moving in the mature market where Lenovo has the advantage previously is very, very different strategy. So are we assuming that the smartphone market and tablet is already mature?
Yeah, we also think that actually the market is not a new market, so we didn't expect to like change from a PC company into a mobile phone company. But just when we observed that smartphones are, we have more and more applications for smartphone and have a threat on PC market. So in our team's opinion, Lenovo tried to enter mobile phone market not for being the dominating mobile phone vendor or change its function into mainly selling mobile phone, but just an supplementation to its PC market to maintain his electronic devices market share. So we didn't like focus it on our main market, but as in supplementary. And as you know, like the electronic devices have many similarities between each other. Though we have PC, desktop, tablet and iPhone, but actually nowadays with more and more applications, they are more and more similar. Like a phone can act like a tablet, we can say that. So they are supplementation for each other. Not we didn't like really transfer from PC company into a mobile company. So though it's a mature market, we didn't expect to have a sharp growth in that market. But to make us more a more complicated company to hold our status. Yeah.
And also, one more point to add. I think the smartphone market in the developed country and in big cities, in developing countries may be mature, but that's not saturated in the rural area of the developing country such as China, India. There are a lot of rural areas where people don't have smartphones. So I think with the competitive advantage of low price of Lenovo, we can successfully penetrate into this market. Yeah.
And also we have mentioned a strategy of how to get into the rural areas or less or developing countries. So, like Kathy had mentioned, we may cooperate with some enterprises in order, perhaps they may order a lot of batch of smartphone in order to distribute it to their staff to increase the communication inside the company. We may choose this kind of promotion or discounting activity. Also, we do respect the fact that the smartphone market has a lot of competition, and some big brands have already taken most of the market share. So we do not come into this market share as a completely new or independent type of smartphone. Instead, we choose to use the existing operating system, Android, and also, yeah, we also try to make use of the Lenovo original customer loyalty of their PC products, of their laptop products. We try to make use of that customer loyalty in order to make us easier to get into this market.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.